Sleep is a pretty integral part of the Mother series if you think about it. It's how you restore your party's health, dreams are often crucial to several story moments, and every game in the trilogy begins with the main character waking up in a bed, especially this one. And ever since I saw Nintendo Capri Sun's video on this topic regarding the Zelda series, I haven't stopped wanting to make this. So, credit where credit is due, watch his video as well. It's great, it's fantastic, and cozy as hell. Just two things before starting this list. One, I am taking music into account when choosing these locations, and two, I am not taking enemies into account. This is purely based on which places ideally would be the best places for a rest or a nap. So, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, wrap yourself up in a blanket, and get comfy. This is gonna be a cozy one, boys. At number 25, we're starting things off with the underground prison in Threed. Starting off strong. This place doesn't technically actually have a name, but this is the best I can come up with. Look, I know it seems bad, but just look at all the privacy. There is no one to disturb you down here. Sure, you're locked in a dark room, but it's just sort of like sleeping in a bedroom with no windows. Or anything else. It's probably pretty obvious, but the isolation here is really the big selling point for me on this one. And hey, you get released. Eventually. Okay, not the strongest start to the list, but that's why it's all the way at the very bottom. The Saturn Valley Hot Springs. I say hot springs because this is the only time on the list I'll actually be collectively including a location from more than one game at one spot. So this includes the Saturn Valley Hot Springs from both Earthbound and Mother 3. The iconic coffee sequences are a great relaxant, a nice break from all the action, and both have great locations that are both very conducive to a good rest. Earthbound's rendition has more villagers than Mother 3's, but it's still very cozy and did Saturn coin the location overall. That's so stupid, cut that out. Mother 3 is just where it was perfected. Saturn Valley overall in 3 is much smaller and feels more snug, and man, sleeping in a hot spring? It really can't get much more relaxing than that, man, but it really can because there are 23 spots left on the list. Next up is Phrygia's Seashell, which also happens to be just north of the previous location. Phrygia gets a bad rap for sleeping so much, but in a nice warm location like this, I can't blame her. Sure, it's right by a possibly active volcano, but it's on the outside. Not to mention all the kind rocks would keep any potential danger at bay long enough to escape. And Phrygia can fly, so that's really not a problem to begin with. Meanwhile, Saturn Valley would turn into a spicy Mr. Saturn soup, being basically a soup bowl in layout. A major reason this is on the list despite the natural danger is its temperature is never specified, so it really could be pretty cozy. And there are locations with specified temperatures, so this is a plus for me. Following that up is our first entry from Earthbound Beginnings on the list, Canary Village. This place just seems peaceful. The only bird that even makes noise is the one that sings a beautiful song. And she'll even shut up if you take her kid away, so there's no downsides. And with all the trees, there's plenty of room to go off and find a nice place in a corner by the brick wall, but still under a tree and doze off. Only possible drawback is bird poop. Another one from Mother 1 is the Oasis in Yucca Desert. It's a nice reprieve from the larger desert and is a lot like the positives of a beach without needing a full one. Plus, whenever you're ready to go, you could just take the plane back to civilization. Or a tank. It's nice and roomy too, so it's not like you're trapped in a little circle or something. There's space to move around. Also, I did choose this place over the Oasis in Earthbound. Mother 2's Desert Oasis has a nice palm tree and there are even some people lazing around about it. But back to what I was saying about the canonical temperatures, Dusty Dunes Desert, according to the player's guide, which is canon, is 99 degrees Fahrenheit. I have friends who live down south who can get along with that sort of heat, but I can't, man. I top out at like 85, then I need some shade. At least Earthbound Beginnings doesn't tell me, so I can at least fool myself into thinking it might be a bit cooler than that. Look at this, there's no wind blowing through here. But here I can at least get a little gust whenever the plane is taking off, which I suppose would wake me up, but give me long enough and I'll get used to it. This is also why no locations in Scaraba will be making an appearance on this list. Yes, even Dungeon Man. According to the player's guide, Scaraba is 140 degrees. I know it's supposed to be comical with how hot it is, but that's just too close to being realistic for me, dog. And I'm not going into some haunted pyramid to sleep alongside some damn mummies. The Oasis from Mother 3's Desert was also a contender for this spot on the list, and it does have a monkey, but it's also surrounded by dung, which is used as currency, so I'm not touching anything here. Number 20 is from Mother 3, however, with the top section of Thunder Tower. Now, when I say top section, I'm referring to anything beyond the section with the fierce pork trooper, all the way to the room with Mr. Generator. The roof scares me too much. But this is also why this is still comparatively far down on the list. The height is very peaceful and private, but it is also pretty scary. I've always loved this section in particular. It's very tranquil. I guess I'm including this room as well, but honestly, I find the construction-like parts much more comfy. Feels so disconnected from everything being so high up, and the Mr. Generator room is really nice. It shields away a bunch of the wind, making it colder presumably in the slightly lower areas, and you can also hide on this side of the structure to have even more seclusion up here. What can I say?
I like my privacy.
Out of the 20s now, I'm going with the top of the railway station right by Club Tittyboo. Not as high as Thunder Tower gets, but man, in Chapter 7, many don't know this, but this place gets abandoned. And it's wonderful. Nobody to intrude on my hermit ways. You can sleep on the couch, in the bathtub, on the bridge. This place is just great. So many options, so few people, yet so much room. I tend to opt for smaller, cozier spaces, but when rooms like the lobby can merely exist without intruding on my comfortability in other rooms, that's wonderful. Another location that won't be appearing on this list is the Rosemary Mansion from Mother 1, which I do like for many of the same reasons as the top of the railway station. It would just let me be able to be by my lonesome, on a hill overlooking the village like the Grinch, or Johnny. But the problem still stands that this place is haunted. I know I said enemies weren't being taken into account, but even if there's no fightable enemies per se, there's still ghosts and spirits just looming. It's a bummer, the village below's a bummer, no spot on the list. But while it doesn't have the view of Thunder Tower, this place will probably still give you a good overview of the surrounding forest, so that's pleasant. Number 18 is the Oso Castle Basement. Okay, now I know what I just said about the ghosts and stuff, but these ones are nice. Confirmed nice. They just vibe and party. They're not bothering anybody. But that aside, the running water underneath this area is so mellow I can't imagine not including it on this list. I often like to find secluded areas in games as a kid where I could just feel like I wasn't being watched, you know? Places I could just relax and really take in the atmosphere, and this is definitely one of the places I think of in regards to that. 17. Berglund Park. I love Tucson, man. One of the best locations in the whole series, with one of the best songs in the whole series. It's a standout. Such great plot points here too, and the sort of yellow overcast of the colors makes it feel like early evening. What's not to like? Only reason this isn't higher on the list is that you'll likely get robbed here, but presuming the crime rate settles after you rescue Paula, disband the Happy Happiest, and gain control over the sanctuary location, this is a good spot. But hey, actions speak louder than words. Even local celebrity Apple Kid agrees, dozing off under a tree in the southern section of the park. Yeah, there's lots of people here, but this little section specifically feels sort of homey to me, and more so has that neighborly feeling a lot of old Peanut stuff has. It's an exception to even my reclusive tendencies, so that must count for something. Update, I was robbed in Berglund Park and I am now a recluse again. Number 16 is Chupichupoyoy Temple from Mother 3. Try saying that name at all. I love this place because of, you guessed it, the privacy. Having Ionia's shell as a nice indoor spot nearby and the temple itself as a very mysterious location, this is a special location to me. It really captures the mysterious elements of the Nowhere Islands at large. And I could see myself laying down right here and taking in the perfect summer weather I know this place has. Alright, I know this will sound strange, but bear with me, I have a point I'm making. As a kid, I actually really liked the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. Its backgrounds, though pretty lackluster now, back then really brought those very deep-looking backgrounds from the games to life to make the whole world really seem like an island that I wanted to explore, and this area really feels that same way to me. Look, I said I was making a point, not a strong one. Oh yeah, this is the one you've been waiting for. Summer's Beach, y'all. It's just perfect. This good version of California tops out at 82 degrees Fahrenheit and has tons of beach chairs to sit back and sleep in for hours. Just don't forget your sunscreen. I'm talking about the beach specifically here too, not including the resort hotel and all that. Only downside here is that you'll probably wake up in a puddle of sweat. That and the main road right behind you. The beach is wide, but could use some more privacy from that road, man. As someone who lived on a main road for several years, let me tell you, it's just as bad as you think. Trauma response aside, this is still a great location. I mean, hey, there's not too many cars. And Summers has easily a contender for best song in the entire series with Summer's Eternal Tourist Trap. Just enjoy the escape from the real world and take off your shoes, guys. Come on, there's no way that's comfortable. Heading way north, next entry for me is the Tessie Watching Club in Winters. I know, how could you put a cold place above a tropical paradise? And that's simple. Because I like it. The whole sequence of Jeff escaping his boarding school into the night and spending the night in a tent to wake up to a nice cool winter breeze is just one of my favorite moments in the game, and sounds incredible to experience. The boarding school itself was also considered, but it's just too formal. This is the type of morning you wake up to when you've gone up to the family cottage and slept in until 10 a.m. and are then having breakfast with your loved ones as you take in the northern atmosphere. It's pure feeling. It's pure magic, guys. And on top of all that, it's another contender for best song in the series. Phenomenal sleeping location, and it's 1 degree. I'm just going to assume that the tent has a space heater. For 13, I've chosen the Taintain Forest Hot Spring, and just a disclaimer, this is the last hot spring location on the list. I could honestly have just filled the entire list with them. There's so many great ones to choose from, but I had to cap it somewhere. The obvious deterrent to this one is all the garbage right outside, but the spring itself is in like a quasi-indoor bathhouse, so I doubt you can smell it. I mean, after all, the architect presumably factored that sort of thing in, but yeah, it's a problem nonetheless, which is why I can't crack the top 10. I also considered somewhere in the Murasaki Forest for this spot, and it's also a wonderful location, but it just doesn't get close enough to the seclusion Taintain provides. It's always too close to the Chimera Lab. Anyway, again with the privacy, surrounded by a forest where nothing bothers you and you just get to sleep in a hot spring. I love the colors here too. The blues and greens make it all so calming, being cooler colors so the surroundings can help sort of mentally cool you down while the hot water from the spring will warm you up, and you could take your arms out of it to even your body temperature out if you wanted to. It's just mwah. Enough said, next number. Lighter's Cabin. This is the only location on this list from the post-time skip Tazmily. Now, yes, the pigmests are bad and do bad things, and we're awesome and good and would never side with them. But come on, this place is wonderful. In fairness, I could have chosen any of the cabins from post-time skip Tazmily, but this one in particular has the forest surrounding it and is also still standing. This place is like that log cabin Airbnb Tony Stark was living in, man. That sort of modern cottage experience so many want now, and I can't blame them. And just think, with all that tech to order things, and the wood to chop to sell as lumber and stuff, I'd never have to interact with anybody ever again. Just before getting into the top 10, I don't think this particular place really has a name, or if it's just sort of an extension of Magicant, but it's the place Queen Mary teleports you just before the final boss in Earthbound Beginnings. It's very still here and has sort of a beachy vibe to it, similar to the rest of Magicant, but just nothing. It just eternally looks like early morning, with the sun either obscured or non-existent with something else illuminating this place. Magicant itself is a sort of mirage or dream, and I think this is the closest the game's rendition of it gets to really bringing you to that soothing place in terms of aesthetics, and possibly in the whole series. Gives me a sort of Link's Awakening vibe almost, and that's a great thing. You're only here for maybe a minute of the game, and you don't even get control over your movement, but man, does it make this place just all the more desirable to rest in. Into the last branch of this list, number 10 is Locrea's Floor in Empire Porky. Another one that might be somewhat controversial, but man is this place nice. Definitely a bittersweetness and sadness to it.
But look at the location.
This is a damn penthouse, with another house inside of it. It's like the 90-somethingth floor? The amount of seclusion is unparalleled. Not to mention, you get plenty of the beach aesthetics of other locations within it. It's presumably air-conditioned and heated too, and an elevator to go and get things whenever you need them. I could see myself sleeping here a long time. The Yadu Inn is cozy, sure, but it's like comparing fast food to a 5-star restaurant. And there's a little mouse friend. As sort of dark as it may sound, the sort of feeling of this place as a location of loneliness in this heavily populated area that's counting down to its impending doom, it's sort of peaceful. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. Number 9, the Milky Well. The sanctuary locations are also something I could have just filled this list with, so I did have to show some restraint. It's a very calming area that's just down the way from Saturn Valley, so you can just hear the music from it bouncing off the cave walls towards you, but just faint enough from this distance where it won't bother you. The colors here are also much duller than some of the other areas, and I like that. It lets you just breathe and isn't trying to push you forward with the energy bright, saturated colors charge you with. I know there's other ones that do this with the colors too, but I love me the sound of running water. Rainy Circle was originally intended to be at this spot on the list, but then I looked it up and saw it had the bright ground color the rest of Winters has, and I had to swap it out, though I'm sure the water here also sounds wonderful. 8. The Outskirts of Magickin. Yeah, we're not messing around anymore. Some of the best music in the entire series, you're looking out into a gorgeous space you can recolor however you want to suit your mood, and no thoughts to bother you. The entrance to the Sea of Eden is probably the best spot since it's the furthest you can get from the rest of the place, since the townspeople can be a bit of a bummer to hang around. Only thing that freaks me out is how narrow these paths can be. I never rolled off the bed in my sleep before, but this still scares me. I know it's all in Ness's head, but who knows what's out there? What if you fall into the subconscious or something and are lost forever? Yeah, that's a no from me, dog. Still obviously a fantastic spot, and I couldn't blame others if they had it even higher in their list. 7. The Hotel and Snowman. Sort of an oddball choice to many probably, but I love hotels in cold places. Just staying put inside, or going out skiing or into town. It's small for sure, but I sort of like that too. It's not far from the train station. It's just a nice little vacation spot. The indoors could definitely use more than that beigeish color every single building in the game has though. Mother Encore team, I am counting on you to make this place extra comfy. Grapefruit Falls. You had to know this one was coming. The colors, the running water, the easy access to 3 other fabulous sleeping locations. I'd personally take a long nap right behind the waterfall. Seen people complain about waiting here for 3 minutes, but I could wait here forever. Another contender for this spot was Peaceful Rest Valley, but the colors are just no match for Grapefruit Falls. I still can't tell if this is meant to be somewhat poisonous. What can I even say? This place speaks for itself, and it requires not doing that. Another weird one, Magickin from Earthbound Beginnings. Not initially weird, but when I put this on the list, I was specifically referring to here. The western forest area right by the wall here, by this monkey. This is a nice nook I like to hang out in. Glad there's an NPC here, but also enough room to be by yourself. It sort of feels like cheating to just put blanket Magickin on this entry since I already had this location, which is debatably Magickin as well. But honestly, any one of the areas in Magickin could work for this spot on the list. The forest, the underground, the fountain, even some parts of the castle even though it looks cold. This spot even has a character sleeping in it for a majority of the playtime, so even the game knows I'm onto something here. Just hell yes to this area. Hell yes. More yes. Just yes. Like duh, right? How could you not put Sunflower Fields up this high? The damn section starts with the main character sleeping in it. Due to head trauma, presumably, but I digress. I don't want to rob this area of the emotional weight it has. I just want to add that it also looks very comfortable. This high up on a cliff, just overlooking the village, I couldn't ask for more than what it provides. Does make me think there's probably lots of bugs though. But in a place as idyllic as this, I doubt it. Another very short-lived area in terms of playtime, but man does it lay a real emotional punch on the player that results in one of the most memorable moments of the whole game. The peace and quiet, and in-touchness with spirituality this place has. Another one I couldn't blame anyone for putting even higher. Okay, top 3 y'all. Tazmily Village. Passed. Another one where I'm sort of cheating, but also yet another one where I couldn't possibly choose one place here. Town Square, any of the houses, the lawns, Cerulean Beach, which is way better than what it becomes post-time skip, by the way. Even the jail is unbelievably comfortable. Only reason this doesn't top the list is the technicality, honestly. But if I had to choose one spot, maybe the Twins' house. For similar reasons to post-time skip Lighter's cabin, to be honest. And yet it does it all in the past. Legendary. Yeah, you know we're at the end now. This could possibly be as comfy as it gets. Alex's house. The game literally opens with Lucas oversleeping in this bed, it's so comfortable. It's surrounded by mountains, isolated by a forest between it and the village, and has tons of peace-loving dinosaurs? easily the best opening location of all the Mother games, and it's not even close. I guess it'd be more accurate to call this spot on the list Alex Farm, because I am including the surrounding area too. Even this dirt looks like a good place to plop down for a while. The music too, I can't even take it, it's so perfect. Outside of being somewhere nice to nap, this is one of the best openings to a video game of all time. You got the isolation from the rest of the island, but you also have a view of it while simultaneously being encased in isolation. How'd you even do that? This just screams perfect domestic life, and I want it now, and I want to sleep through it all, somewhat. Alright, let's do this. Number 1. Oh boy, this is it. Lots of you probably saw this coming. Like I said, the sanctuary locations could fill a sizable part of this list on their own. But Looming Hall is the standout as the obvious best of them all. Even aside from the perfect coziness it provides to sleep in, it's still better than all the other sanctuary locations. It's no contest. Just imagine laying down while staring at this wall in the dark, with all that beautiful music playing, knowing you're in perfect purgatory, underground, but still above all the dinosaurs below. It's game over. Nothing remotely compares. I had a few reservations about how to place some of the spots in this list, but this was never for a moment one of them. This is the one. Thank you all for watching, and again, please check out Nintendo Capri Sun's video where he does this for the Zelda series. It's linked in the description. And I'll see you next time.